Let's talk about all the BS coming from the journalists who don't want to accept that there is a bias at Twitter. Now, I've been thinking about it. I've actually talked to some people, and I had kind of a revelation. I don't think Twitter is biased in favor of the left. I think they're biased in favor of mainstream journalists who are biased in favor of the left, and that's what we're seeing. I think Twitter, Twitter told Brian Stelter of CNN that journalists are the lifeblood of their platform. What that says to me is the mainstream news organizations, which for the most part lean left in many capacities, and many are overwhelmingly left, have all of the favor. And Twitter's not going to ban them. They're not going to take any action. So this morning, I saw a few screenshots. Some people who follow me sent me images saying I was banned for posting this. One of the images was someone tweeted criticism to a journalist saying learn to code, and they got a suspension. So I see a bunch of these, and I tweet angrily, Twitter is banning people for saying learn to code, but does nothing about Covington. This is a garbage platform. Follow me on Minds. Because, look, I don't think Minds is perfect by no means, but at least it's a new platform that you like. There's a lot of really great things about a decentralized and smaller platform. These big companies don't care about you. They don't care about you, okay? So I tweeted about it, and sure enough, we then see this tweet not too long after from John Levine. He said, I am told by a person in the know that tweeting learn to code at any recently laid off journalist will be treated as abusive behavior and is a violation of Twitter's terms of service. Well, shortly after this, several journalists, some of whom I really, really like, so, I'll throw that out there, tweeted, this is just not true. And I said, how is it not true? Not only is this a reporter for The Wrap, a media editor for The Wrap, and we've also seen evidence that people have been banned for this. I was told it's much more complicated. They're not banning people for just saying learn to code. They're banning people for engaging in a targeted harassment campaign. Okay. What we then see is Max Tanney tweets this. Twitter spokesman responds. It's more nuanced than what was reported. Twitter is responding to a targeted harassment campaign against specific individuals, a policy that's long been against the rules. Oh, everyone says. It's just right-wing propaganda. They're not biased against conservatives. No, it's just a targeted harassment campaign. Sure. Except this user, Paul94MCK, Paul McKenzie, sent this image to me. It says, he tweeted to one of these laid-off journalists, you guys loved BuzzFeed when they were publishing fake dossiers on Trump and publishing fake articles about Trump-Russia collusion that even Mueller called BS on #LearnToCode. He didn't just tweet that #LearnToCode, he's using a hashtag that represents an idea, and he wasn't harassing anybody. I looked at his Twitter account. This tweet was removed, and it says he got a 12-hour suspension for it. He tweeted the hashtag 3 times. This was one of them. 2 of them are still there. He also tweeted the phrase learn to code at someone else, also not an issue. This isn't a harassment campaign. It was just a user on Twitter who tweeted to somebody a criticism and threw the hashtag in there and got a suspension for it. So when they then come out and claim it's a harassment campaign, you see what they're doing? You see how they twist this, okay? When the Covington thing happened, Kathy Griffin directed her followers to dox these kids and pull up their names. The accounts, the actual Twitter and Facebook for the school were shuttered because of the harassment. Did Twitter do anything? No. Many of these tweets are still live. Many of these people have doubled down. Reza Aslan said he was a punchable face. That's still there. So you want to say that's not harassment? Fine. Okay. Why is it that if someone is going to tweet a criticism at you and use a hashtag, that's considered harassment, but calling on your followers to dox people isn't? Now, let's get to the root of how they're trying to frame this, because it really pisses me off. John Levine, I am told by a person in the know that tweeting learn to code at any recently laid off journalist will be treated as abusive behavior. That's still true. Nothing changed. He said, update. Source was a Twitter spokesperson. A company has issued the following clarification. It's more nuanced than what you reported. Twitter is responding to a target harassment campaign. We've seen it. Just to be clear, they're backing away from what they originally told me. This more nuanced business was not part of my original email exchange with them. They also requested that I share this link on abusive behavior. Another journalist confirmed to me, another journalist that I talked to about this said, this tweet from John Levine was fake. And they're claiming, apparently Twitter is telling another journalist, John Levine made this up. Okay? This is insane. I really doubt John Levine, who's the media editor for The Wrap, just made this up. That's ridiculous. He said his source was a Twitter spokesperson. But let's be clear. The response, the clarification doesn't change anything. All they've said was that we confirm it. All they've done is confirm they will ban you for tweeting learn to code. Look, it's more nuanced than what was reported. Twitter's responding to a harassment campaign. Okay, so it's confirmed. If you tweet learn to code at any recently laid off journalist, it'll be treated as abusive behavior and as a violation of the terms of service. How is that incorrect? But now you see the same figures tweeting out that it's right-wing propaganda, it's all fake news, and this is why I absolutely I just hate Twitter completely. Twitter is a garbage platform. Look, I bear no ill will towards those who have been laid off, and I think anybody who's tweeting death threats should probably be banned because that is a criminal act. However, going back to the example I tweeted earlier, and there are many others, okay? I posted another example on my Minds account where someone got banned for just saying, I think they just said, Slate should learn to code, and this is one of the more viral tweets. But this dude didn't, I asked one of these journalists, what makes this a harassment campaign? And I was told it's because people are organizing around it. And I said, what does that mean, organizing around it? And what they did was they sent me a dictionary entry. Okay, well, that doesn't explain anything to me. There's no base. There's no club. There's no group. All right? NBC wants to claim it's a coordinated effort by 4chan, but just because this dude tweeted a criticism and had the hashtag in it, that's a bannable offense. Think about that, okay? This was a bannable offense. If he didn't put hashtag learn to code, would it have not been a bannable offense? Essentially, what we're learning now is that Twitter considers a group of people upset at some other people, they consider it harassment if you criticize them. Why? That's why I brought up in the beginning that I believe Twitter is biased in favor of the mainstream media. This guy, Ben Collins, for NBC News, posted some misleading bullshit about me. When I made a video about him yesterday on my main channel where I said he was trying to use his platform at NBC to get people banned. He is. He tweeted on the 24th, Twitter will never do anything about this because they refuse, they need to take action. Like basically this long tirade about how these social media companies must take responsibility for what they're doing. The next day, he claimed that 4chan was organizing a harassment campaign and sending death threats to people. While that's partially true, it doesn't tell the whole picture of what's going on. And in my opinion, the reason he wrote the story was because the day before he said Twitter should do a thing, the next day he writes a story that has an extremist narrative, and then the next day he says, oh no, now they're coming for me, Twitter, do something about it. And he literally tweeted, do period something period Twitter. He then claimed that something about ethics in gaming journalism, like I don't even know what the guy's talking about. He said something like it's all about ethics in gaming journalism, and I'm like, what did we talk? Like we're not even talking about video games, dude. We're talking about you wanting Twitter to ban people who are criticizing. Okay, I was going to say harass, but for the most part, what we saw from the journalists, they were getting people tweeting at them, haha, you got laid off. Yeah, okay. Here's what needs to be said. Is it a harassment campaign? Is Paul engaging in harassment because he criticized a journalist one time? No. Twitter has determined because too many people share the same opinion, they can ban you if you engage. The reality is it's a hive. The internet is a swarm. The hashtag is a meme. It's a meme that encompasses an idea that journalists don't care about the average person and that they're elitist and they can't take what they dish out. That's what it encompasses. So here we have an issue of this dude, this regular old Twitter user, tweeted one time to this journalist. Suspended, 12 hours. Yet Covington. I want to take this time to give an honorable mention to the epic collapse of these angry journalists. I'm not going to make a dedicated video about this, but I'd like for you to see this. This individual, Jason Sweeten, posted this, do you still have a job at BuzzFeed? It's a community post, so I immediately thought to myself, maybe this guy is just mocking BuzzFeed because community is like anyone can post. Well, I clicked his name and you can see that he's actually got a decent amount of bylines over several years with legitimate promoted articles, meaning, yes, it's like 99% sure the dude worked for BuzzFeed. Well, this post is a takedown of BuzzFeed. How many years have you worked at BuzzFeed? Less than 2, 3, but the final one is, I remember when our holiday bonus was a drawing of a cat and the CEO presented it as an investment. What's your department? Basically, the last answer for every single one is a dig at BuzzFeed. This dude has gone rogue. I'm not going to give it its full video, but I just wanted to point out in something similar to what's going on with Learn to Code and the layoffs of these journalists, you've got BuzzFeed staff demanding paid time off because BuzzFeed doesn't want to pay it. And you've got this dude writing an article going hardcore against BuzzFeed. So look, BuzzFeed's no saint. And neither are many of these journalists, but I'm not going to fault the journalists. It's Twitter that is banning people. But I will fault the individuals who are now claiming it's fake news, saying, oh no, it's right-wing propaganda now. They've clarified. They're not banning people for saying Learn to Code. What do you mean? Max Tanney confirmed they literally are. The only thing he added was that Twitter views it as a harassment campaign, which is total bullshit. Welcome to the internet. It's a trash platform. Let me take this opportunity to once again tell you I'm on minds.com/Timcast. Ha 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 ha. I hate Twitter. I seriously hate Twitter. The only reason I didn't delete my Twitter is because I want to do everything I can to use Twitter to tell people why Twitter is awful. And that's what I'm going to keep doing. So there you go. More videos to come. I'll see you in a minute.